Who the hell are you?
You all know exactly who I am.
I don't have a damn clue who the hell you are.
Yeah, you do. I'm the man who killed...
I'm joking.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
If I say something tonight that's so offensive, so off that you've never heard anything so fucking off the charts in your life, right? Don't make a scene. Go to the box office after the show. They can't give you money back straight away, but there's a form you fill out with the complaint, and I take those away and I shit on them.
The shitstorm is coming. That's the real world out there, and let me tell you, baby, it is fucked.
That about wraps it up, gang. We hope you enjoyed it.
If you don't shut your fucking mouth, I will kill you.
Right.
Johnny Depp. What
It's
do you
Johnny,
mean?
and he's a king.
Johnny Depp.
Why?
Because it's Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. He's a hottie.
Why?
Because he's a daddy. Why else? Girl, he's pulling out his mic. You saw that, girl?
Johnny Depp or Amber Heard?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp.
Amber Heard shit in the bed.
First Amendment protects free speech. It doesn't protect lies that amount to defamation. And that was the issue in the case.
Yes, exactly. You can't go into the free speech does not protect you if you go into a crowded theater and you scream fire. We get the concept of free speech from the Greeks. My understanding of what that means is not just the freedom to speak. It's a freedom to speak truth to power.
But truth is the word.
Yes.
And that was the issue.
And that's all I spoke. And I spoke it to power, and I paid the price.
In the closing arguments, the Depp lawyer said, called your testimony the performance of a lifetime, and said you were acting. What do you say to that?
Says the lawyer for the man who convinced the world he had scissors for fingers.
Okay. Somebody said, wait till she finds out she isn't entitled to half of the chocolate factory. And somebody said she left most of the chocolate factory on the bed. Someone says, a weirder thing is that the legal team managed to convince the whole court and the world that his name is Johnny and not Edward. If I ever end up in legal trouble, I'm hiring his team. Damn, they're good. Somebody else said, I'll never forget the disappointment and anger I felt after we were all told that Edward Scissorhands wasn't a biopic. Never really forgiven Depp for that.
You know, I like to use good old-fashioned sexism to drive traffic to my page. So here's to staring at my tits. Thank you.
Is she able to pay a $10.4 million judgment?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
I just want Johnny to leave me alone.
There you go, a clean-cut Johnny. I'm not used to seeing him clean-cut, I have to say.
Yeah.
And I know that you said that when you're doing a scene, sometimes you stand back from it and think, my goodness, what am I doing here? You must have thought that during that scene.
I think in that scene in particular, I was just trying to stay afloat, much like that rat.
She's like, how could they think anything other than I'm a liar when they listen to Johnny's paid staffers and randos? You know, she tried to claim the one guy whose trailer got damaged by Johnny to some small extent was somebody who wasn't there and really didn't have a connection. Your lawyer had the chance to point all of this out on cross-examination and did. And you, Amber Heard, pointed it out when you were on the witness stand as well. The jury heard all of your defenses, all of your attempts to poke holes in the credibility of these people, and they rejected them. That doesn't make the jury this helpless group of vulnerable people who would just be swayed by the randos and the paid employees. They factored all of that in, and they still did not believe you. Like, that's how bad your case was, your testimonial was. They saw all of that and heard all those arguments. They rejected them.
Would you like to talk about why you attempted to kill yourself?
Amber Heard just cut off your finger. What should you do? Follow me. Do not spray the finger with disinfectant. Do not put the finger on ice. That will damage the tissue. Do not put the fingertip in a plastic bag. Condensation can form and cause damage. Instead, take the fingertip, put it in a paper bag, bring it to the hospital and give it to the doctor and they'll reattach it. And don't put that finger in vinegar to preserve it. That's not how that works. Okay, my name is Kiram. This is Medic 101 for Civilians. Follow me on TikTok if you want to live.
Amber Heard has been in the news a ton lately for her ongoing trial with Johnny Depp, and in that trial was revealed that she bought a 6-acre home in California for $570,000, so let's go check it out. She bought the home back in 2019 in Yucca Valley, about 27 miles away from Palm Springs in California, about 2.5 hours or so outside of Los Angeles. It's definitely a unique home, built in 2015, 2,500 square feet, has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. The kitchen actually doesn't look too bad. It's a little more homey than a lot of the moderns that you'll see these celebrities buying. Here's the bedroom above with the sliding glass door to lead to the outside, and the mountain that you'll see in a bit, and the bathroom down here below. Definitely a unique one. So in the picture above is the covered patio space, but one thing that's really cool I wanted to show you guys is the 110-foot long bridge that leads from the backyard all the way across this ravine to a mountain. Here's a closer photo of the bridge above, and you can see it goes from the house and leads to a staircase up the mountain to a gazebo. Now we're up in that gazebo. It has views of the entire Yucca Valley from up here. I wonder if she even spends any time here. Definitely a unique place to call home, but to each their own. Let me know what you guys think of this place.
But she was having scheduled threesomes with Amber Heard and Elon Musk.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
Yes.
Scheduled threesomes?
Yes. And Elon was paying for Amber
what?
It's crazy.
Was it while Amber Heard was with Johnny Depp?
Yes. Elon Musk is not a good looking dude.
Oh no. I wouldn't want to partake. Well,
but
he's a rich dude.
Yeah, but they're rich.
But are you Elon Musk rich?
Nobody's Elon Musk rich.
Exactly.
So we debated. Do you think they were getting money, or they just did it to have scheduled threesomes with Elon Musk? Now they're all crazy.
They're all crazy is what I was going to say.
Yeah, the crazies.
I think the crazies unite. And that, imagine that threesome. That'd be crazy threesome.
Johnny Depp shows videos of Amber Heard cheating with Elon Musk and James Franco.
Oh, James Franco. I'd rather threesome with him.
Franco, I saw him walking the streets of New York one day. Good looking dude.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like dude. He just...
I am shook. CelebrityNetWorth.com just updated Amber Heard's net worth following the verdict of the Johnny Depp trial, and she's now worth negative $8 million. And that's not counting the $7 million that was pledged entirely to the ACLU and the Los Angeles Children's Hospital. Yikes.
Amber Heard is claiming that she's broke, but it's been revealed she spent $22,000 a month to stay in a mansion. And explaining this, for the 2 months she was in Virginia for a trial with Johnny Depp, she spent $22,000 a month renting a mansion. The mansion can be seen here as a multi-million-dollar home with a tennis court, pool, and indoor spa. And this is a big deal because Amber Heard is claiming she can't pay the $8.3 million that she owes Johnny Depp. She was originally ordered to pay Johnny Depp $15 million, but $5 million of the $15 million was in punitive damages. But that was reduced because punitive damages are capped at $350,000 in Virginia. And Johnny Depp was ordered to pay Amber Heard $2 million, so Amber Heard now owes Johnny Depp $8.3 million. But the big question is, where is Amber Heard's money when she made $7 million off of her divorce that she claimed to donate to charity but didn't? And she was paid $3 million for the Aquaman movies, with $1 million for Aquaman 1 and $2 million for Aquaman 2. It looks like the issue was spending, where it's estimated she was spending $30,000 to $50,000 every month. And there were legal fees where analysts said that Amber Heard could have spent up to $3 million on lawyers. So it doesn't look like Johnny Depp will ever get the $8.3 million, but at least on the bright side, he has his...
Not since OJ, perhaps, has the trial been so closely watched and the lawyers become famous people in their own right. What has that been like for you, particularly you, Camille? I think I saw someone on social media get a tattoo of your face on their body, which is weird.
It's been overwhelming and surreal, but to the extent that I can encourage young women to stay in school and maybe inspire them to pursue a legal career, then it's all worth it.
Let me tell you why I think Amber Heard is the real victim here. She...
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
You need an intervention. You need an intervention. You need an intervention.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But you're kind of the top of the pile right now. We'll do me tomorrow.
So it looks like Camille will be representing Johnny again in the case with Greg Brooks. This is Greg Brooks, and you may remember hearing about this. He's also referred to as Rocky Brooks. He is a location manager, and he worked on City of Lies with Johnny, and he claimed that Johnny attacked him. Now, a lot of these allegations kind of got brought to the surface during the most recent trials. And his attorney recently spoke out and said that he is still ready to see Johnny in court. He claimed that he told the director that there was only one shot left for the scene, and Johnny got very angry with him and said, "Who the F are you?" And he claims that Johnny punched him in the ribs and that he has suffered emotional and physical distress. There is a deposition online that you may have already seen where Johnny talks about this incident. I will post that at some point today. But I will be following this case. I think it's presumed to happen sometime around July or maybe a little after that. But I'm just really happy Camille is representing him again because she kicks butt.
Disney has finally apologized to Johnny Depp, and this is what they said. Trust me, you're not gonna like it. We're sorry now. Oh, after everything, okay. Mr. Depp deserves so much better than us to jump on a publicity bandwagon and fire him from Pirates 6 before any concrete evidence came out. Really? Oh, well, that just makes everything better. In hindsight, we wouldn't have. You gotta be kidding me. Mr. Depp will always have a place as Captain Jack Sparrow in our hearts. Bye? What kind of apology is this? I'm going to be late for my... They had to add that, huh? Good job, Disney. My childhood keeps getting worse and worse.
From paid employees, and towards the end of the trial, randos, as I say.
So you don't blame the jury?
I don't blame them. It wasn't... I don't blame them. I actually understand. He's a beloved character. And people feel they know him. He's a fantastic actor.
Their job is to not be dazzled by that. Their job is to look at the facts and the evidence. And they did not believe your testimony or your evidence.
Again, how could they, after listening to 3.5 weeks of testimony about how I was a non-credible person, not to believe a word that came out of my mouth?
Hell yeah. Who? Desire. And repulsion. The best. Goals. A beautiful concept. That one I'd say worth dying for. Who cares? The best exile. Kiwis. So that's when you should ask me about Barnaby Joyce. Kiwi. I mean, really? Why? When chocolate is not available. Yes, please. Jason Momoa. Otherwise known as Mira. She has her own name. Haven't found it yet. At least I hope not. Beauty. Inside.
Is there one scene that you're really excited for the fans to see in this film?
I do have an interesting, almost, I wouldn't call it a fight sequence, but I do get to give it to James Franco once. And I think that's really, I think that's something to buy a ticket for just alone.
Okay, that's a great scene, so thank you.
Or what judgments you want to make about what happened in the privacy of my own home.
Johnny's home, but yeah, go on.
It wasn't,
You know the jury didn't believe anything you said, right? Like, not a single thing, like, ever.
How could...
Just a yes or no is fine, you know, trial's over.
I'll put it this way.
Or not, whatever.
How could they make a judgment?
Yeah, well, you know, that's kind of their job, you know? It's not like a VIP scene over there. Why did you think they were there?
Randos, as I say.
Mm-hmm. Like Rango? Oh my God, did you see that movie? You got to watch it.
You cannot tell me that you think that this has been fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, by the way, how's your dog? How's the bee doing? So would you change your name to Amber Unheard?
Sure. You think on social media there's been a fair representation. You cannot.
Just when I thought maybe we could wake up and not hear about Amber Heard. Amber has sat down with Savannah Guthrie to do a one-on-one interview that will be aired on Dateline on Friday night and little snippets throughout the week on the Today Show. This is my favorite part, though. A spokesperson for Heard told the Post about the forthcoming interview. Johnny Depp's legal team blanketed the media for days after the verdict with numerous statements and interviews on television. Ms. Heard simply intended to respond to what they aggressively did last week. Oh my goodness. So here's my theory. My theory is that Amber dumped the original interviews that were the day after the verdict. So that's why Elaine went on. But she dumped them because she was offered an exclusive for Dateline rather than these 3 to 6 minute little clips on morning shows. She's not dumb. She's not dumb. She's not dumb. She made the right business move there. She needs to make more money. And am I going to watch it? Absolutely.
So have you heard about what's been going on with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard?
Kind of.
Who do you think is guilty?
I think that Johnny Depp, he is an actor.
They're both actors, yes.
I know, but either they're doing this together or he's doing it and that's who he is.
What?
I don't think it's real.
So you think this is just like a facade?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know.
No,
I think she might be like really hurt.
Oh, there's been new speculations going on that Amber Heard is actually the abusive one.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how can a girl abuse a guy?
Show that makes you ask yourself, how did I get here? Here's our first person. What you gonna do, right? Don't be loving this shit.
I thought I had some haters. They send me all kinds of hate mail, voodoo dolls, and all other kinds of bullshit. Hell, they even burnt my shit down. But you have some serious haters there, my man.
Here's the difference between Amber Heard when she's talking naturally and when she's acting.
It was 9 or so years ago that I stopped doing, using my real name online and stopped, bank records in a different name, like all those things that you have to do.
Notice how casually she's speaking. Now watch her performance.
I just sat there thinking, how much time do I have till I figure out what I need to do? Because, God, did he just hit me?
Even if you think that I'm lying, you still couldn't look me in the eye and tell me that.
In the closing arguments, the Depp lawyer called your testimony the performance of a lifetime and said you were acting. What do you say to that?
Says the lawyer for the man who convinced the world he had scissors for fingers.
You're confused? I'm fucking confused, bro. What did you... I'm pretty sure Johnny Depp didn't try to convince people he actually had
The jury looked at the evidence you presented. They listened to your testimony and they did not believe you. They thought you were lying.
I'll put it this way. How could they make a judgment? How could they not come to that conclusion? They had sat in those seats and heard over 3 weeks of nonstop, relentless testimony from paid employees and towards the end of the trial, randos, as I say.
So you don't blame the jury?
I don't blame them. It wasn't, I don't blame them. I actually understand he's a beloved character and people feel they know him. He's a fantastic actor.
Their job is to not be dazzled by that. Their job is to look at the facts and the evidence. And they did not believe your testimony or your evidence.
Johnny Depp.
Do you want to know the most interesting part about Amber Heard's interview with NBC? It's that she believes every word she's saying. I am so baffled by the fact that she is just spitting these sentences out and not even blinking. If you haven't watched it yet, she basically says she does not blame the jury, but she does blame the fact that Johnny Depp is Johnny Depp and everybody feels like they know him and that he's a familiar character to them. And that she did not get a fair chance on social media, that people were really pretty much bashing her on social media, so she never stood a chance. Do I believe that Johnny Depp has a larger fan base than her? Absolutely he does. He's Johnny Depp. But if she were presenting herself and her story in an honest way, I think a majority of people could have felt with her. But nothing that she was saying on the stand ever felt honest to any of us. Those audio tapes were clear and concise to the world. She can go on all she wants about how the world just sympathized with Johnny Depp because he's Johnny Depp, and social media really just battered her. But that's not the case. There was so much evidence that was clear to all of us what was really going on behind the scenes. And when she was on the stand, it felt like she was playing a character. Listen, I'm not surprised one bit that her PR team is having her do interviews this early. This is their quickest way to try and remedy Amber's situation. She's going to have a very hard time trying to book jobs after everything that's happened. They need to fix the world's perspective on her. It's going to take a lot of time, if ever, that it happens. If she ever stands a chance to really work in Hollywood again, they have to start now. So does this interview surprise me? Not one bit. And I'm very...
Says the lawyer for the man who convinced the world he had scissors for fingers. I'm the performer.
Remember when Amber tried to say this?
You were here in this courtroom, right, Ms. Heard, when Malcolm Connolly testified to taking this picture?
That's correct.
This is a picture. This picture shows an injury to Mr. Depp's face, doesn't it?
I disagree. I've seen this picture.
Okay, Ms. Heard,
I've seen
I got
this
the
picture
answer. Thank
before,
you.
and
You
he's
disagree.
not injured in it.
He's not injured in this picture. That's your testimony. Fine.
This one is Photoshop.
Ms. Heard, I have your answer. Thank you.
I love you guys for tagging me in this stuff. So thank you to the person who tagged me to this photo. This would be Johnny Depp's friend, and he just dropped this bomb on Instagram yesterday. He captions it, "Why not? Happy honeymoon at the Raffles Hotel 2015 with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard." Let's take a look. I'm sorry. Can we get a zoom in? I think I see something. Is that a bruise? Sorry, wrong person. Yeah, I think that's the same bruise from the same honeymoon. How are you gonna spin this, Amber?
So we all know that Amber Heard is a wonderful human being, so I'm just gonna go and watch one of her interviews.
And you promoted the Mandy Lane film.
No,
What was
I
it?
didn't.
You weren't there? Because there was like 8 of you there. I was sure that you were there. Okay, I'm
No,
my mom.
I didn't go to Toronto. I was.
Amber Heard's giving interviews. She sat down with Savannah Guthrie and talked about how she doesn't blame the jurors because Johnny's a beloved character that everybody loves. Need I remind you, just a couple of weeks ago, I came on and told you guys, not a Johnny Depp fan, never watched a Johnny Depp movie, didn't know who Johnny Depp was as an actor, knew his name, knew nothing about him, knew nothing about their relationship, knew nothing about nothing. I'm one of those people where I just started watching the trial because it was interesting, heard the facts, and realized. And so this whole narrative that the jury just loved Johnny and let Johnny win is not true, because the jury would have been picked by Amber's team. Mind you, Amber's team picked the jury, along with Johnny's, and definitely would have picked people who didn't know or wasn't aware of Johnny Depp. So, let's watch the clip.
So you don't blame the jury?
I don't blame them. It wasn't, I don't blame them. I actually understand he's a beloved character and people feel they know him.
And they did not believe your testimony or your evidence.
Again, how could they, after listening to 3.5 weeks of testimony about how I was a non-credible person, not to believe a word that came out of my mouth?
We have. He is a truly gifted character actor that is trapped in a leading man's body. There's no one else like him. And he's, to add on top of that, to the unfairness and torture of that, he's also a wonderful person, wonderful human being. And I could not have asked for a better co-star.
Where's your lovely wife tonight? Is she here?
No, she's off doing something. She has some other deal.
Mama. And I know Pirates 5. How great is that going to be? And is there going to be a Pirates 6?
Pirates 6, I don't really know about, but Pirates 5, there's, it's an interesting thing. You can never go back, obviously, and sort of capture what the first one had, but you can sort of understand it. So the 5th is closer, I think, in pace and in taste to the first one.
What do you think, Amber Heard or Johnny Depp?
I don't know. I don't know too much about that shit. But I'm a roll with the dude though.
Yeah, she pooped in his bed.
That's disgusting.
Shitty pants, huh?
Shitty bed.
Shitty bit.
Johnny Depp. Why?
I think he's just a cool guy, right? He's like sympathetic and he's got like, nice hair.
Johnny Depp.
Why?
Yeah. Cause he's cooler.
I'm on Johnny Depp's side, for sure.
What about you?
Sure.
B.
Amber Heard or Johnny Depp? Whose side were you on?
Donald Trump.
Become a legend! Do this shit for real, bitch! I do this shit every day, motherfucking pussies!
It is the first possible case in New York in years. Monkeypox, is a rare virus.
You argued in your closing arguments that if they found even one instance of abuse, and it did not even have to be physical abuse, that they would have to fine for Amber Heard, and they didn't.
And the other part to bear in mind here is nothing changed. The op-ed didn't even mention Mr. Depp by name. And so what basically they did here is demonize her. And they were able to suppress the medical records, which were very, very significant because they showed a pattern going all the way back to 2012 of Amber reporting this to her therapist, for example. We had significant amount of texts, including from Mr. Depp's assistants, saying, when I told him he kicked you, he cried. He is so sorry. That didn't come in.
Is there any other way to interpret this verdict, though, that this jury, for whatever reason, and I hear you on some of the evidence that they didn't hear, listening to Amber Heard, did not believe a single word?
You know, and that's because she was demonized here. A number of things were allowed in this court that should not have been allowed. And it caused the jury to be confused. We weren't allowed to tell them about the UK judgment. So the damages is completely skewed. There are no damages. It stopped at November 2, 2020, which is when the judgment came down in the UK.
Johnny, see you later, man. Yeah, man. Good meeting you, bro. Jeez.
Are you sober, drunk? Have you been drinking?
Oh, rare occasions where I was sober.
Starlight lied to you just now. She did. I don't make mistakes. I'm not just like the rest of you. I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better. I'm done. I am done apologizing. I am done being persecuted for my strength. You people should be thanking Christ that I am who and what I am because you need me. You need me to save you. You do. I am the only one who possibly can. You're not the real heroes. I'm the real hero.